Welcome everyone to Play Stocks. I'm happy to get Terry Christopher back on from Zonte today. Zonte just completed a drill program on their K6 target and just put out some news on another target, K6 South and K7. That looks quite interesting. So Terry, can you help us out here and explain, I guess, the drilling maybe to start off, what the plan was there?
Yeah, sure. What I'll do is I'll share a presentation, but thanks for having us again, Ron. And I'm just going to share a screen here on our presentation. So this is our drill pattern at K6 here. What you see are the traces of the drill holes. We completed 7 drill holes on the K6 target. We did have some mobility issues with the drill, and in one case we drilled 4 holes from the same drill pad. Nonetheless, we did get the opportunity to test a whole series of, I guess, aspects in our data set. The samples now are all in the lab, so we should soon start getting samples trickling back here. What we did do at K6, and I'm going to back up just a tiny bit. First 2 years exploring cross hills, we basically targeted specific geophysical anomalies, namely gravity and magnetics. And we actually drilled K6 back in 2019, 2 holes, one in the strongest gravity anomaly, one in the strongest mag anomaly. And they were about 200 meters north of where these drill holes are here now. And if you notice, in the image on the screen here now, there's a scale bar on the bottom, and each one of these blocks is about 200 meters square. So just off, really just off the image in terms of where we drilled the previous drill hole. So the last 3 years we spent doing it. So the initial 2 years, we hit some copper, but we didn't have a full understanding of the hydrothermal system. So we elected to do additional work, which we've completed over the last 3 years. The aim was to have a better understanding of the hydrothermal system, so that and potentially where copper could be deposited, with the aim that when we drill these new targets with this additional data, we had a better success rate in the drill core. And this is what these drill holes tested. I didn't test all the aspects, but they test most of the aspects that we had identified in this new area on the K6 target. And there's 7 drill holes. We drilled about 1,700 meters total, and we'll wait for the results to come back here. And it will, provided we have some decent results, or results where we hit copper, it'll validate our system, our exploration techniques that we've added to in the last 3 years. So. And that's really where the K6 target stands right now.
Okay. Yeah, that's great. We're all anxious to see what the results are going to be. You also just put out news on a new target near K6. It looked quite
exactly
intriguing.
Yeah, and this is the This is the area that we put the new results out in. And the image you're looking at here is the gravity data, and the pinks and reds are gravity highs, and the blues and greens are gravity moderates or lows. And the circular dots in here are soil samples that we've completed over the last number of years, actually compiled. We did a large soil program right up until the end of the year last year. And what's happened in this area, this is a valley, and we've known that we've been intrigued by its potential for some time. But what we've noticed is that there's a whole series of there's a large anomaly there, and that it's circled there in dark pen here. But this is the soil anomaly that we've discovered in this valley. And it's interesting because it's large. We didn't anticipate the size of a target. We were anticipating several smaller anomalies, soil anomalies associated with the discrete gravity anomalies that are sitting on the image. But it turned out to be one large cohesive target. And I'm going to just show you, there's actually 3 gravity anomalies in here. That's gravity anomaly number 1. That's the K6 South anomaly. Here's a second gravity anomaly that's associated with the larger target. Here's the third gravity anomaly, and the third gravity anomaly is the K7 target, gravity target itself. So the data is pretty strong. We have additional magnetics. This area, for the most part, has been mainly mapped, and alteration mapping has been completed. So at this point, we need to spend some time going through the data, but it's probably close to drill ready, if not drill ready. The area is generally covered. And so, there's a little bit of a challenge in getting a lot of data, a lot of information from the rock exposure there. But in a couple of cases, there are rocky exposures, and you'll see down here in the corner here of the anomaly, that black star is a new copper showing that we found during the soil sampling program. Just for comparison, this is the K6 target here that we just completed drilling on, and you can see the differences in the size there. You can also note that based on the gravity, which is illustrated here, the gravity just a moderate signature on K6. So we're kind of excited to see what comes out of K6, because K6 in reality is our smallest and probably our weakest target from the gravity perspective. Pretty small target on the mag side as well. And if you look at K6 rock exposure, we have decent rock exposure on a lot of targets, and I'm ballparking about 50% rock exposure on the K6 target. And that compared to other targets with about 50% rock exposure, our K6 target has the least amount of copper showings at surface as well. So the drill test on K6 here is a good one. We've tested a series of data that we had. We tested the line targets, so if we intersect copper of any sort on this one, then it'll be exciting for the rest of the targets. We basically have 11 to 12 different targets outside of K6. So if this comes back, then we'll be quite excited for the rest of the target sitting within the Cross Hill property.
Okay, so I guess for follow-up drilling, you'll go back to K6 here, or do you think maybe you might try down here in K7, or what's the thoughts there?
We'll wait for the results of K6. We do, this was the first pass on K6, so we'll wait for any results, and we'll go in, and if we have to go deeper along strike, we'll definitely do that first. The results will also help us give us a better understanding if we did hit copper, where and how exactly the copper sits within the system, which then we can apply to the K6 South target here, that in the K7 target we have, as well as the additional targets. So we'll have to wait for the results to come back, but both these areas are high priority for us right now.
Okay, that's great. So yeah, let's pop over to the core shack.
Okay, thanks.
Sounds like your biggest problem might be which target to choose next.
Yeah, I guess our biggest challenge until recently was finding success in the drill core. And we'll find out here shortly whether our K6 drill program validates our techniques, and then it's a matter of picking these targets and systematically going after them. And you're right, we have a lot of targets, and they're large, and it's going to take it's going to be exciting times going forward here based on success at the drill program.
Okay, great. So you're in the core shack there. Any interesting samples or anything you can educate us a little on?
Yeah. So one of the things we do when we do our core logging, we'll actually take little pieces of the core, and I got water in this one. we'll take pieces of the core and we'll put it in what we call a core skeleton, so that we don't need to pull all the core out. And this one here is a hematite breccia from drill hole number 6 at about 162 meters depth. And that's quite an interesting feature that we've noticed in the drill core. Very classic IOCG hematite breccia in drill core. And this is, this is pretty standard what we do with all of our cores. We'll just take all of these types of little sections down through the core, and we'll put them in what we call a core skeleton. We'll often as well, this one here has been split. You can see it's only half the size, and this one here has been sent to the lab for whatever reason. So even samples that we take, that we send to the lab, we try to keep records of those as well, so that when we get the data back, it's an easy, I guess, easy to correlate what we have with respect to the rock types and alteration.
Okay, awesome. Okay, yeah, so for sure we're all looking forward for the drill results. Maybe we can do an update after that, and let's hope they're very positive.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, and thanks for having us again, Ron. Much appreciated.
Okay, thank you, and have a good day.
Okay, bye-bye.